What's good, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy Akil McLeod back with another live video. And today, like I told you guys in my video that I dropped earlier on today, we are doing a live call-in show. So if you guys are into the chat, make sure that you guys, of course, hit that like button as you guys are coming in. But the first link in the description will be the link to use to call in to the show. Feel free to call in however you guys want. You guys can use your audio, you guys can use your audio, you guys can use video, use your phone, use your laptop, whatever it is you guys want to use, go ahead and do so. Let me just see who's in the chat. We got the bro Bounty Nomad in the building. He was actually on the live chat last week, so shout out to Bounty Nomad. Footwear House Ryan, we in here. What's going on? What's up, champ? Let's see. Detroit is here. Good evening, everybody. Detroit is in the building, ready and willing. I love Detroit. I'm always shipping out some Adidas sneakers to Detroit. So y'all, I definitely got a lot of love for Detroit. We got Ken from Detroit in the building too. Okay, that's what's up. We out here. So I just put the link, the StreamYard link in the chat as well, just so you guys can see basically the link to use. I think it should be a pretty simple system to use. I don't know if you necessarily need to use Safari or Google or something. I'm not exactly sure what services you guys might need, but I think it's pretty simple instructions. Last week, my wife and I were on here. We was on here for about an hour, just chopping it up, just having a good time. So we'll see. I'll probably be on here for about an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes, depending on the engagement and how long people are here. But I'm just gonna wait and give it some time. Couple things I did want to talk about just this week on eBay. There's been just a couple announcements that I was seeing. They made let me see if I can find some of those announcements that I've seen on eBay. Well, one thing that I know that they actually did fix on eBay, and I'm glad about that. There was like a kind of a glitch happening with the payment system. If you guys aren't aware, eBay has that managed payment system going on right now, and I was trying to see. I guess when you just click on the payments tab, there was definitely a little glitch happening on there, but it's all fixed now. So drop a comment if you guys have been experiencing any glitches with the eBay managed payment systems. I know for me, I just wasn't able to see, basically just see how much the fees were and all those types of things. But I think they did fix that just in time for Q4. So let's see. Blessings to you as well. We got some people in the chat. Jules here to listen to some gold. That's what's up. We got Rohan in here. I'm new here. That's what's up. Happy to have you. If you guys got any questions, if you guys don't want to call in, just drop the questions in the chat and we could just keep the conversation going there as well. Just a check-in. Let me know how the stores have been for you guys. Those of us that do retail arbitrage this week, for me in particular, when it came to Ross, Marshalls, Burlington. I dropped a video earlier this week when I went to Marshalls. My Marshalls was very, very dry. It looked like people ran through. Looks like several sellers probably ran through that Marshalls, and it was really, really in bad shape. I haven't been to Marshalls since then. It's been really tough. So I definitely like to know if Marshalls has been good for you guys or just as good, if not better. Also with Ross has been kind of hit or miss. I think I'm just going at the wrong times. That's the toughest part about just going to these retail arbitrage stores and just trying to hit the restock at the right time. There's been several times where I'll talk to managers, talk to different sales associates, try to pick their brain, see if they'll tell me when exactly restocks would be coming out. But sometimes it really just all depends. So that's why I always tell people I preach consistency, because the more you go, the better you'll be able to realize when the restocks actually happen. And for me, this week alone, I think it's just been kind of hit or miss. I've been trying to figure out exactly which days they'll be dropping stuff. But I mean, like I said before, I'll just keep going and checking it out. So I think we got somebody in the chat. Let me add you to the stream. We got Rehan in here. Let me add you to the stream. What's going on?
Yo, what's good?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
is
man.
Is it Rehan?
What's up?
Is it Rehan? Like Rehan Rondo?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Man, you got me into the game. So like I've been at it for a little bit now.
Okay, that's what's up. I got you in
I got
the
a couple
game.
questions. So
Okay, yeah, shoot. Let's hear
yeah.
them.
So I'm in school right now. So like I can't really. I'm not really putting like that many hours into like reselling as much as I want to. Like maybe like 4 to 5 hours a week to source.
Okay.
My parents are like they're like kind of strict about COVID and stuff like that. So my question was just like, how do you like maximize your time like when you're out there sourcing? Because sometimes you'll go to stores and you don't get anything. So like for you, is it like if a store is not hitting for you like 3-4 times, then do you just not go, or like how does that work for you?
Man, that's a good question. So that's actually what I was kind of touching on earlier. Before, when I first started the stream, like even this week has been kind of tough. It's been kind of slow, but it comes in waves with a lot of these stores when they restock, especially like the Nike outlet. It comes in waves. Sometimes some weeks it might be really really dry. Then you might hit a couple days where it's just a ton of different shoes, different products to flip. So for me, it's just a matter of just you want to be kind of cautious with your time. So if I'm in a store and I check just a few racks and I'm seeing that they probably didn't put anything new, especially if I went the day before and I'm seeing the clothing racks and it's like the same stuff that I seen yesterday, and I go to the shoes and it's the same stuff, I just leave and I just try to head to the next store and just try to I just try not to waste any time while I'm in those stores. I try to limit myself to say maybe I'll spend 2 hours out today and just try to stay within that time frame, and just try to not to waste any time. Like you'll see some other resellers in there literally running through the aisles and checking different stuff really quickly. And that's because the more you're doing it and the more you're experienced, you would just kind of develop an eye to see the qualities, items, whatever it is that you're looking for. You kind of develop an eye to kind of spot the quality out, and it basically just be in and out of the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I mean, I still gotta like improve on like getting like more quick, I guess, like because like I still like take my time and like kind of like if I see like a shoe I haven't seen before, then like I'll just search it up on eBay just to make sure, because sometimes I'll come over something that like the comps will be good, so like and I've never seen the shoe before, so like I kind of go with the mindset that like you never know, but like that's also like sometimes that can be like just wasting my time, because like I'd say like 80% of the time the shoe is not worth buying. So I guess I still need to like get better at that.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, it just comes with experience. The more you start looking at shoes, the more comps you start looking up. After a while, not to say you're not going to check the comps anymore, because I still check comps before I purchase a shoe. But a lot of times for me, if it's a certain model or a certain colorway or maybe a certain collab that I'm familiar with, I usually won't even need to check the comps. I'll know for a fact I'll make money. Once I get home, I'll see how much. But usually I'll just know for a fact, okay, these Huaraches always do well. These golf shoes always sell well. And as soon as I see them, I just grab them up and I just leave. Because for me, it's just trying to be precious, just trying to, be kind of cautious with the time, kind of protect the time. And the longer you're in the game, bro, the easier it's going to get. Trust
me. Yeah. Yeah, I got another question for you. So like I know you were in higher education, and like I'm a senior right now, so like I'm applying to colleges right now. So I just like wanted your opinion on like what did higher education like do for you, and like how did it bring value to you as like and for your entrepreneurial side?
Oh man, that's a dope question. I like that. So college was everything. Like college was really everything. I remember there was a specific point, I think it was my junior year, when I was on the fence and I was thinking to myself, I don't think I want to do this. I don't think I want to go to school. I think I'm kind of over it. I don't really want to continue the process, because I was getting denied from colleges left and right. And during my junior year, I was like, man, this is too much rejection. I'm good. Keep in mind, this is like 16-year-old Akil, where, I didn't have that same type of mentality that I do now. So once I actually got to college, at first it was kind of rough, because it was like you have so much freedom and, you have your schedule laid out for you. But at the same time, it's parties happening, it's frats happening, it's girls, it's just all types of everything happening around you. So it just kind of taught me it just taught me more about time management and I kind of keep those same habits to this day, like we were talking about earlier, just kind of managing your time, because I still had a really, really big social life. Like I was a party promoter, I was in a frat, so my social life was really big, but I just really tried to manage my time well, and that's something that stuck with me. But outside of some of those like social skills, bro, the network was everything. Like I just got married last year. 80% of the people in my wedding party was people from my frat, and my dean was the person that married my wife and I. So it's like you're gonna meet lifelong friends, you're gonna make lifelong relationships, and a lot of those schools, like a Harvard, like a MIT, a lot of these Ivy League schools, people go to the school not for the education, but they go for the network.
Yeah.
So regardless of what school you go to, keep the network in mind. A lot of people go and they find their wife, they find their husband. You know what I mean? It all just depends on what you're going to look for. But it's the older I'm getting and the farther removed that I am from college, I realize that the network, the social skills, all those opportunities was like the framework for everything. It gave me the foundation. So if I had to do it again, the only difference I would do is probably go to community college first and save some money on my student loans. But outside of that, college was everything, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you can relate, but like my parents are like first generation immigrants, so like they were like heavy on school, like like you got to do well in school, and then like whatever you do in school, you can then like leverage that, and that's how like you're gonna get like positioned well. But like one thing for me like that I'm still kind of iffy about is like since I don't really know where I'm going, it's like reselling, like I can go out to source every day because I know like every time I go to source, like I can see the short term and long term goal. Like the short term goal is like to get more sales, and then long term goal, like I want to build like a sustainable like eBay account. But like when I'm like doing school right now, it's like I'm doing well, like I'm good at school, but like at the same time, like I can't, like every time I turn an assignment, I'm not sure like where maybe this will take me, because I'm not really like dead set on like what I want to do. So I guess that's like the only reason where like I'm kind of iffy on it.
Well, we on the same page. I was a first generation college student too. My mom came from Trinidad, so same thing. She was saying school is the way, school's the only answer. She didn't care what I studied. She just said you're going to college one way or another. So I can relate 100%. And when I first got to school, my major was undecided. I didn't have a major until my sophomore year. I think second semester of my sophomore year. It took me a while to even decide what I wanted to do. So a lot of the feelings you're having, a lot of people that's going to be starting school with you, a lot of incoming freshmen, they're going to be undecided too. So those first 2 years, usually everybody just takes a bunch of gen eds, a bunch of general education courses. So everybody's just figuring it out. And once you become, second semester sophomore or into your junior year, that's when all the major core classes start to begin. And hopefully by then you'd get enough experience and you'd take enough courses where you can kind of, get some direction. So the main thing I'll tell you, since you're kind of undecided now and you're on the fence, make sure you connect with your advisor immediately and just kind of let them know what your interests are, and they could kind of steer you in the right direction, because that's what they're there for. That's what I used to do. And I would just have conversations with my students, and after a while I would kind of just suggest certain courses, suggest certain clubs, kind of just give them some advice that way. And then before you know it, they found the idea of what they wanted to do or the major they wanted to go into, and they was good to go.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, that's all I had. Thank you.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad I could help, bro.
Yeah, see you.
All right, thanks, man. You got Mr. Mo in the building. What's going on?
Hello, Akil. Nice to finally be able to chat with you, long-time viewer.
That's what's up.
I got to show you something, man. I'm really running into a problem here. Every closet in the laundry room is pretty stacked. All right. I mean, this thing is like 2 deep, 3 deep. I showed you that. That's like, I mean, it's getting pretty bad. do you at this point, I'm thinking about renting a storage facility. I'm thinking, should I be concerned about sorry, I live in the Northeast. Should I be concerned about air conditioning? Make it a heat. Making sure that it's not just a dry
facility.
Yeah.
Well, when I had a storage unit, I was in Cali, so it was kind of cool weather, so it wasn't that hot, and all my items were good. The thing is, some storage units, they have like an indoor facility, like an indoor portion, and then some have an outdoor portion. I would absolutely suggest indoor, mainly not even so much because of heat. Mainly because of dust and dirt and bugs. So anything, I would just keep it inside, and then of course have like storage bins, or you go to Home Depot, get those super large, those extra large boxes, and fill up stuff that way. But you doing good. You doing real good. Well, that's a lot of stuff.
Listen, I've been trying to do a little. Look, I got to do a little flex on everybody.
Man, you got to beat the Kobe's. Oh, that's the LeBrons right there.
Yeah, I just at the last minute I was like, oh wait, I got the Stussies back there too, but I can't.
You killing them. You killing them.
I can't keep them out.
You killing them.
It's like
that's tough.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm really proud of you. You guys really turned me on to something good here. I mean, I can make more on these here than it take me to sell about 2 cars, maybe 3 cars, as I do in my full-time job.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, that's what's up. So how long you been selling sneakers? You can hear me now?
My brother started calling me and messed up. Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. Have a good show.
Thank you. Soon. That's more inventory. Yo, you're killing it. Thanks, man. That's what's up. My man got a ton of inventory. He is killing the game. That's beautiful. All right, y'all. So as you guys can see, it's pretty easy to just join into the call-in show. So if you guys have any more questions, or if you just want to hop in, chop it up, feel free to do so. I'll stay on here for a little longer. Let me just go through the comment section really quickly, because I know there was some questions that I seen while I was talking to Rehan. So let me just scroll up really quickly and see what's going on. My name is Corey. What up, Akil? Reselling fam, what's going on? Let's see. I'm wondering if it's too late to start reselling since so many got into it during this mess, but you are the man to learn arbitrage. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trust me, it is definitely not too late. There's a lot of people doing this. There's a lot of people into reselling right now. There's a lot of people trying to start, but there's also the turnover rate when it comes to reselling is insane. So many people, they join, they start an account, whether it's eBay, whether it's Poshmark, all these different platforms to sell on. And they thought it was easy, and I gotta assume responsibility for a lot of this, like between just putting the content out on YouTube and other content creators. We always make it seem easy. We'll go to the Nike outlet, we'll go to Ross, we'll go to Marshalls, and we'll make it seem as all you need to do is buy the shoe and take a picture and flip it. There's so much more details to that, and that's why so many people they start, they're excited, they're motivated, and then they leave shortly after. So there's the time is now is when people are shopping. So as long as you can get good quality items, I say start and go for it now. And the thing is, you got nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. All you can do is gain experience, and as long as you purchasing the right items, you can gain some money. So definitely just go ahead and make that happen. Let me see what other questions we had going on here in the chat. Let's see. When it's slow, mix it up. Hit Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, Nordstrom Rack, etc. That's a great tip. I remember going to Foot Locker and in Champs just last week. Maybe it was 2 weeks at this point, and I got some Vans and some other shoes, a little cheap stuff here and there. They've been having a lot of shoes on clearance, so I was able to capitalize on that. But I definitely just got to start just mixing it up a little more. That's why I kept talking about wanting to start doing more bulk and wholesale and liquidation, just so I can switch it up when times are slow. But it is what it is. My man BG said 15-minute max per store. That's a good tip. You wanna just protect your time. That's the biggest thing. I might sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I might give each store maybe 25, sometimes 30 minutes if it's a bigger store and I got a lot to look through. But 15 minutes I think is a good amount of time. Let's see. I'm realizing that now as well, that the sourcing comes in waves and so do the sales. Absolutely. That's that. And I think that holds true with just about any business. Sales, it comes in waves. You could experience, a ton of really big sales, and you can experience some slow sales. So it's all about just, practicing money management. Once you have a big month or a big week, you don't want to reinvest every single dollar. Sometimes you might want to, put a couple bucks aside for a rainy day. Sometimes you might want to put just keep some money in your business bank account just for operations, just in case things slow down. It's super important to practice money management, and that's I think something else that why so many people join the reselling game, the reselling business. They want to hop in, but then it's so many other intangibles that come along with it, and just running a business day to day that a lot of people just aren't necessarily aware of. But I think you're right. Sourcing definitely does come in waves. There's weeks where every day I go to Ross or Burlington, I'm leaving with 50, 60 pairs throughout that week, maybe even 100 pairs of shoes during that week. Then the following week, I'll be lucky if I leave with 10 pairs throughout the entire week. So you just got to get it while the getting is good, and just keep it moving. Let's see. What happens if we don't have continuous access to stores in person because of COVID? Any online things we can do to acquire product? Yeah, so online arbitrage is absolutely a thing. I know I try to do some online arbitrage. Sometimes it's tough because, of course, you're competing with other people from all over the place. But there's so many like liquidation and wholesale websites out there. There's online auctions. I tell people all the time, Google is your friend. Most things that you would find, like most good opportunities, won't be on the first page of Google. You might have to do some digging and to find yourself down a rabbit hole, and then you might have to do some reverse engineering as well. I'll probably do some videos on that, on telling people how to do some more online arbitrage, but it's definitely possible. One tip that I can offer you just off the top of my head is if for instance, I'm not sure what it is that you're selling, right? But if you sold items from thrift stores, or you came across an item from a thrift store that had a lot of value, you want to save that item in your eBay search. That way, once that item gets listed brand new to eBay, you'd get notified. And if it's a good price, where somebody may have priced it way under market value, you can snatch it up really quickly. So that's a good tip that definitely works. There's some people that's all they do all day long in terms of sourcing. Some people never leave the house. So that's definitely a good tip that you can try out, especially now since it's so many stores that are closing, and you just got to get more creative when it comes down to it now. We got Cato. What frat were you in? Well, I'm still a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. That's the frat. It's the only frat. Let's see. Think about joining one for some networking next year. Yeah, absolutely. Frats, fraternities, sororities is the way to go. I can't speak on every Greek letter organization, but I mean, Kappa is the way to go. Let's see. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, don't go to college. Start a business and find a proven mentor. Why spend $80,000 to learn when you can learn in a year of hard work? It's unneeded debt. I mean, that is one way to look at it. And the older I've got, I've kind of started to think along those same ends as well. But the thing is, like I was telling Rajan earlier, the thing with college, even I'm not gonna say $80,000 in debt is cool. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of debt. But that social experience and that networking experience, the lifelong friends that you meet, those, to me, that's priceless. I'm not gonna say $80,000 is worth it. Like 80,000 is a lot. That means you went to either a private school or you went to, you know, a very prestigious school, because that's a lot of money. But most people, I think the average student loan debt is maybe about 30,000, depending on the school you go to. I think the college experience is something that those that didn't go to college would always try to take an opportunity to take shots at college. I have a bachelor's and a master's. I'm all about school, even though I'm an entrepreneur now, and I didn't necessarily use my degrees for this business. It set the foundation for me doing what I'm doing now. So I would never try to say, you know, college is a waste and it's a bad opportunity. I would never say that, because I know I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go to school. So definitely want to just put that energy out there. Education is literally everything. But I think it is an antiquated system that needs some adjusting, especially a lot of these curriculums. But that social aspect of it, that the lifelong friends that you gain from going to school, it's priceless. It's priceless. Jay Brown, people come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Rohan Conchetti. I mean, entrepreneurship is risky. At least college gives you a foundation to explore other career paths. Thoughts? So that's the thing. Entrepreneurship is risky. And I think the biggest thing is now entrepreneurship is very trendy. Entrepreneurship is at an all-time high where a lot of people are telling people to go ahead and quit their jobs and, you know, just do their own thing. And by all means, for some people, that is the answer. For me, that was the answer. For me, I knew I was always intrigued with the entrepreneurship lifestyle, and I had a lot of friends that started businesses. So for me, I know I needed to do my own thing. I wanted to start my own thing. Entrepreneurship is risky, but it's also not for everybody. And I think by doing a side hustle kind of gives people it gives some people some insight on, you know, what it takes to actually run a business. And it's one of those things where you can start something on the side and eventually make your side hustle your main hustle. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's literally just not for everybody. So I think the good thing with college is that it'll open your eyes to, you know, different cultural experiences, different career paths, like you said. It's overall, those 4 or 5, for some people 6 years are the best years of your life. So it's one of those things. It was for me, at least. So it's one of those things where I could never just try to, you know, talk down about college or say it's not worth it. But college for me was everything. Let's see. Once again, let me put that link here in the chat if anybody wants to hop in to the chat and be featured on the screen. Just drop that link one more time. Let's see. Can you tell us what shipping option you think is best? Free, calculated, or flat rate, or a combo of all 3? So for me, the majority of my items are free shipping. Maybe 95% is free shipping. Here's the rule of thumb for me when it comes to shipping items. Usually what I would do is I would just incorporate the cost of shipping into that item and just say it's free shipping. So if it's a shirt for selling for $25, most people would price the shirt at $19.99 plus $5 shipping, and then they might accept offers on that item as well. So for me, what I like to do is to just charge $25 for the shirt, free shipping, and by doing that, you know, the buyer just it's almost like a buyer psychology. It's almost like a trick. The buyer just sees one price, free shipping, and they're more intrigued. Also, why I choose free shipping is because eBay likes free shipping. They like pushing that. They like free shipping and free returns. I don't necessarily do free returns, but I know eBay loves free shipping. So they'll kind of push it to the top of the search. If not the top of the search, they'll push it up a little higher so people can see it. But that's why I like doing free shipping. The only time I really would charge shipping is if I'm accepting an offer on an item And if it's an item that I'm not really sure about the comps, sometimes the comps might be kind of all over the place. You might have seen it sell for $50 last week and $100 2 weeks ago. So items like that, I will tend to do best offer, charge shipping, and usually in situations like that, the best offer might sometimes be whatever the cost of shipping is, just subtracted from the actual price, and then that'll usually be the best offer. So for me, that's how I like to do it. I tried calculated shipping. I didn't really like it because at the time I was on the West Coast and New York buyers would see an inflated price. So that was something I didn't want to continue doing. But it works. All of those options, it works. It just depends on how you want to run your business. But I can't tell you which one is the best. I can just tell you what I like to do, but all options are viable options. All right, we got Gehrig in the stream. Let me add him in here. Which one is the best? I can just tell you what I like to do, but all options. Gehrig, you are on. You are on Gehrig in the stream. Let me mute his mic. You are on camera. Yep, I can hear you.
Whoa.
What's going on?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I didn't know this how it was gonna work, but I'm excited. I've been a long time. I'm 18. I've been reselling for 3 years. You were actually one of the first people who inspired me to do it.
Wow, that's what's up.
So that's really dope. I'm kind of at a fork road. I just got basically an early acceptance offer to Northeastern University in Mass. I'm kind of from the Boston area, and I'm kind of struggling on whether to continue really growing my Poshmark business or whether I should focus on school. And I know that there's like a way to do it both, but in order to get like reselling to the point where I want it to be, I just don't think it's possible for me to do both, or I'd have to put something to the side. It's just kind of weird.
Well, that's the thing, right? Well, first off, congrats. Because Northeastern, I know, is a pretty prestigious school. So
thank you.
Congrats on that. That's dope. One thing for sure, it's all about balance. Like no matter what it is that you plan on doing, you could be trying to resell, you could try to do any other business and school. It's all about balance. When I was in school, I had several part-time jobs because I was just always a hustler. I just always had to have some money. So having some type of job is going to be super important. And once you get to college, you don't want to be the broke dude in college. College is probably the only time that it's acceptable to be broke. But if you got a little bit of change, you'll feel much better. True. So if I was you, I would still just continue with the Poshmark business, or just even, just reselling as a whole. You might want to try different platforms too. But if you go into college with a side hustle or a business or some type of framework already, all you're going to do is gain from that. It's that you can't go wrong. All you're going to do is meet other people that might be interested in what you're doing, and you guys might put your money together, and you guys can start just take your business to a whole other level. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I was telling the other guy earlier, Rajan, with college, it's one of those things where there's so many different types of people and different like-minded people. And once it's very rare that you'll have an opportunity like that ever again. Yeah. Like once you leave college, you're not even going to be around that many people, on a daily basis ever again. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity. Don't squander it. Don't waste your time. You know what I mean? Because those 4 or 5 years fly by like this. But trust me, it's one of those things where you could do both. I just think it's a matter of finding that balance. And as you're going with it, you'll find the balance.
Yeah. I got one more question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of realized it with Poshmark, which I don't want to speak for you, but Poshmark, it's kind of, I'm starting to be like, I'm at the point where I'm one of the top people on Poshmark.
That's what's up.
I'm seeing that there's only like so far you can go with Poshmark. Like I don't think it's possible to make 6 figures I think there's a few people doing it, but it's a really like an anomaly. Most people aren't doing that just because the app's not big enough. So I think there's like a few directions that you can go in reselling. You can be one of the resellers who goes into multiple different platforms, eBay included, has to be one of them, Amazon FBA possibly, and sells on multiple different platforms with a ton of inventory. Or you can go into like the influencer kind of route, which is what somewhat of what you did, right? And I would love to do that. It's just like I need to like I feel like I'm a pretty confident kid. I'm an only child, so like I should have it, but just like starting a YouTube channel is like the hardest thing for me, because I feel I'm one of those people where if I can't like do it perfectly, I don't want to do it at all. So if I like start doing the YouTube channel, I'm like, it's not going well, and I don't like how it's coming out, and then I just get all over myself.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm an only child too. and everything you're saying in the sense of like being a perfectionist and only wanting to put out great stuff. When I first started on YouTube, I thought my content was great. And then I looked back at it 6 months later and I'm like, damn, this was trash. So you just got to get involved. Once you start making content, you start watching your own stuff and you start tweaking it and making it better as you go. But also the whole influencer thing, the whole YouTube thing, once again, it's not for everybody. There's people that's killing it and they're not on any social media at all. So it just depends if you want to put yourself out there. You know what I mean? And I think those that are super successful in it, they're super passionate about it too, because the money isn't all that great, especially in the beginning. And so you got to have some form of passion to want to do it. If you want to do it for the money or the notoriety or some type of fame, that's the people that usually start and then they drop out weeks later because they didn't go viral, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just up to you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you. Very good. I got a lot of young men on here talking college talk. It's crazy. I'm no longer an advisor, but I'm still giving college tips. But I mean, it sticks with you, right? It always stays with you. That's what's up. We got people ready to run the world. Tracy, reselling isn't for punks. I hear you. Let's see. Do you have a list of shoes for absolutely a newbie to learn from? A list of shoes. Now that's a good question, but I really don't have a list of shoes. I would only say if you're brand new, you want to just keep going to different Nike stores, keep going to Foot Locker, and just getting yourself more familiar with different brands, different styles. Watch. There's this whole community on YouTube. They call it Sneaker YouTube or just Sneaker Tube, whatever you want to call it. But there's a whole community of people on YouTube that talk about sneakers all day long, and you can gain so much information in terms of resale, in terms of just collecting, tons of information. So you can just literally, some people I would suggest, I watch Tony D2 Wild. I watch his content. He talks a lot about shoes. I watch Bullet RC. He's another one that I watch a lot of his content. I actually met him at ComplexCon a couple years ago. Super cool dude. There's a bunch of other people that do it, and there's a lot of information to gain out there. You just gotta search for it. That's it. Let's see who else is in the chat. Bounty Nomad, what's up? Hey, I'm getting a lot of offers on eBay with no payments all of a sudden. What's happening with that, and why is it difficult to cancel even after 4 to 5 days? I gotta say the customer asked to cancel. So what I like to do, I used to experience this too when I was accepting a lot of offers on items. So that's one thing that made me stop accepting offers. I just started being super firm with my pricing, and that definitely helped me out. So you might want to consider that moving forward. When you cancel an order on eBay, in my description, I always say payment needs to be made within 24 hours. And just by putting that kind of disclaimer on there, will kind of let the buyer know, like, if you don't, some people even say payment must be made immediately. If not, I'll cancel the order on your behalf. You could even do something like that. Only thing is you don't want to cancel the order and say you are out of stock, or say, that's the main thing. You just don't want to cancel it and say you were out of stock. You can just say the buyer asked to cancel, and basically you'll just save yourself getting any type of defects on your account, and you can just cancel the order and just keep your items listed and good to go. That's something that I've been doing for a while. And usually if a buyer makes a purchase, or or you accept their offer and it's 2-3 days past the time, usually they've experienced buyer's remorse and they're no longer interested. So if you cancel the order, unless you hear back from them and they message you and say, hey, I wanted the item, why did you cancel? That's never happened to me. Usually if it's 2-3 days went by and I cancel the order on their behalf, they've already gone ghost. Sometimes I might message them or send them a payment reminder, and if they don't respond to that, usually they've experienced buyer's remorse, and you could just go ahead and cancel that order. Let's see, Saving Sister, starting in Q4 will give new resellers a boost to get going and gain some momentum. Have to maintain and ride the waves of summer slowdown or any downtime. Absolutely. If you can start now, it'll definitely give you some momentum. Absolutely. Especially if you're listing good quality items that people are searching for during this time. Stuff like winter clothing, toys, boots, shoes always sell all year round. But like I said, if you're selling the items that people are searching for during this time frame in particular, you can do very well. I just know that there might be some people wanting to start in Q4, and they may have a lot of random items that are probably more popular in the winter, or in the summertime. And like they might have, a bunch of swimsuits, and they list them all in Q4 and say, it's Q4. Why isn't people buying my stuff? Well, now is not the time for swimsuits and bathing suits and stuff like that. So as long as you're selling items that are quality and popular during Q4, you'll definitely do really well. And I just think that's just the way to go. You got Gloria Evans, go to college. I'm 65-year-old grandma. My sister 68, took her 12 years, got her PhD grading college papers online. I'm a reseller part-time on Poshmark now. Who is making the most money? That's what's up. You gotta, that's the thing, man. People say, because I understand 100% both sides. I understand it 100% where people are saying, people aren't going to college, it's a waste of money, this, that, and third. I hear you, I get it. But those years of college to me is priceless. Lifelong friends, lifelong brothers that I wouldn't have never met them any other time. So absolutely. 46 people. Yeah, please hit that like button. That'll definitely go a long way. Definitely hit that like button. College is awesome, but being an educated father and husband that can support, love, and teach his family to be a better person is best. That goes hand in hand right there. That goes hand in hand. Absolutely. Let's see. Stock images, brother. Where do you find them when listing? Do you snag from other listings? No. So the way how I find stock images, I just use Google. So what I would do is, especially for some of those Nike items that I was selling, and I shared the stock images. I was talking about those earlier. What I did with those is that I typed in the style code on Google, and then it pops up. A bunch of those photos will pop up, and you can just use the pictures from there. I don't necessarily like grab them from other people's listings. I just Google them, because a lot of people too, they might not have like a good high quality stock image, and it might be really blurry. So I just take it straight from Google or straight from the Nike website sometimes too, if I can find it. But anytime you're doing stock images, you always want to make sure that you have actual photos of the item, so the buyer knows what they're getting. There's so many people that drop ship and stuff like that. So a lot of buyers, they might be against drop shipping. So just by adding a few photos of the actual item, just so the buyer knows you have the item on hand, will kind of just secure some more buyers' confidence. Let's see. Jojo English. Hey, brother, how do you deal with basically legit scammers? Man, these scammers out here, it's just too much. There's no real way to deal with them. It's part of the business. It's part of the game at this point. You just try to. I'll give you guys an example. So I just listed a PlayStation coming from my personal inventory. I had a PlayStation 3 just collecting dust. And I know there's so many scams out there where people go as far as, opening up the PlayStations or opening up the game system, taking out everything on the inside and then shipping it back. All right. So what I did is you take a photo, you try to take all the photos that you need, the serial number, all those type of items. But then I also plugged it up to my TV and I took a photo of the game playing so that people know that it works. That way somebody wouldn't, ship it back and say, oh, this doesn't work. Because a lot of scammers, they'll try to make it seem like you tried to scam them. So I just try to always, kind of just protect myself. You know what I mean? Anything I need to do in order to just cover myself, I try to do that. And like I said, I just try to do whatever it is that you can in order to protect yourself. The scammers are out there. The scammers are going to prowl on people. But as long as you do what you need to do and whatever you can do to protect yourself, you'll be good to go. But man, the scammers are everywhere, bro. It's tough. It is, especially on Poshmark. You got to be super careful as a buyer on a lot of those platforms. Let's see what it do, what the business is. Absolutely. Hit the like button for me, please, y'all. I definitely appreciate that. So let's see. Got a lot of chat going on in the comment section. Just keep it going. Keep it going. I'm seeing a lot of people sharing some gems in here, so that's what's up. Share the knowledge as we go. Each one teach one. Let's see. Is there any comments that I did not get to? Let's see. How do you handle customers trying to scam and damage your business reputation? I think this was this same question you asked before. Like I told you guys, just try to do the best you can in terms of just protecting yourself. In terms of damaging your business reputation, feedback is everything, right? See, feedback, especially on eBay, is everything. So there are times where eBay kind of does go through, say it was just a lie on your feedback. You can always call eBay back and try to get those feedbacks removed. They'll probably tell you about the feedback revision system and doing stuff like that. That definitely works too. But sometimes you might just need to call or request a call back several different times on eBay, speak to several different people, and then they'll take care of the feedback. So when it comes to your reputation, like I said, feedback is super important. But with the scammers, they're everywhere. They're on every platform. But as long as you're aware of it and you do what you got to do, you'd be able to kind of counteract that and avoid them. Absolutely. Make sure the serial number is in the pics. Absolutely. Because people would love to swap out a good working item for something that they got that's trash. And as long as you take photos of the serial number and all of those things and show that the items work, that'll give you some more protection. Excuse me. So thrift stores have been pretty quiet for me lately. My friend just came up today on a huge vintage Looney Tunes haul at the Goodwill outlet. Also some vintage Harley tees and a 3D emblem. Damn, those 3D emblem tees, super expensive. They be selling for $100+. That's a good haul. That's a good bolo for those that are still in these thrift stores picking these vintage tees up. Man, I try to go to these thrifts and try to find the tees, but I don't find any of them. But those Harley Davidson tees, if you can get them, they sell for good money all the time. And and as we were saying earlier, the sourcing comes in waves. It comes and goes. So even though the thrifts might be kind of slow this week, hop back in next week or anytime you get some downtime, and just go different times too. You always want to switch it up because you never know if you're going at the same time every day and you're just missing the restock. So go different times, switch it up. You don't want to be too rigid in your process because you can come up on something real good if you just, switch it up. Let's see. I'm a college graduate. I work in corporate America and I'm not making much money. My motto is it costs money to live and no one can take my education from me. That's the best way to look at it. I think that kind of sums it up in terms of the whole, college talk. It's as cliche as it is. People say, the education is as cliche as the whole people saying education is key. It really is. Like as long as you're educated, especially in a specific field, you can always leverage that. And I think what's good too is that if you go to college and you're business or you're entrepreneurial minded, once you're in college and you've already spent X amount of money for your loans, you'd go into college with a different mindset. You're going into the game knowing that I've already invested in myself, so now I have to make this work. I think so many people go to college and they just have this kind of lackadaisical attitude, and it's just like, I'm just here and I'm just gonna do whatever I want and I'm just gonna party and meet girls. Like, that's cool to a certain degree, but people that have the best college experiences are those that, you know, partied hard, but they studied hard and they maintained good grades and they made lifelong friends. And that's the real value of college. Not everyone will have the same college experience. Some people might not be as social, so they might not experience that side of it. But I'm telling y'all, no matter who comes into the chat, talks about college, I will never talk down about college, because for me, literally the best years of my life. We got a big super chat, $10 from Nikki. Thanks for always bringing such pertinent information. Thank you. That's what's up. $10. I appreciate you. Let's see. I feel like sometimes these platforms don't have our backs as sellers. It's frustrating for sure. Thanks for answering my questions, brother. Yeah, that's the thing with some of these platforms. I know for a very long time, eBay was like that. For a very long time, eBay, it seemed like eBay always would side with the buyer, no matter what the buyer said. The buyer could have said, "Oh, I never received it," and they could have had tracking information showing that the buyer received it. Buyer would still side, the eBay would still side with the buyer. But I think eBay has come a long way, so they're definitely starting to protect sellers now. On Poshmark, I never had too many bad experiences, especially when I was doing a lot of business on Poshmark. If there was ever any questionable situations that happened, Poshmark always had my back. Oftentimes, they would either refund me and refund the buyer, and just, you know, take the L that way, and Poshmark tend to cover the expenses. But it's just one of those things where these platforms know for a fact that they're nothing without us. They need sellers for their business to grow. So I think that mindset is really settling in for a lot of these different platforms. I also sell on Mercari. I haven't had any negative situations on Mercari yet. Not a ton of sales on there either, so I can't really speak from a really large sample size. But I do think as a whole, a lot of these different platforms, they're smartening up, and they're realizing that they need sellers, because there's so many platforms and so much competition that if they don't try to keep sellers on the platform, they're losing out money as well. They're losing out on money as well, because the only way they make money is collecting fees from us. And if we sell on a different platform, they lost money. So that's how I look at it. I try to always make sure that, you know, once you're providing value to any platform, any business, any community, you're a valuable asset. So you just want to make sure that you are a valuable asset, and just, you know, you handling business. Let's see. Do you measure your jackets for eBay? I have some ski jackets that I don't want to measure. Yeah, I just did a video today on measurements. I still measure jackets and coats and all those things. It is tough sometimes if I get multiple sizes. So if I go to Ross or Burlington and I find a bunch of Nike jackets size small to extra large, sometimes I might not put the measurements because it's so many different sizes to list, but usually I'll still try to add measurements. If it's a one of one, I'll just try to add the measurements. And that video I did today, the same measurements that you do for shirts, you can keep those same principles and do that for jackets as well. Ken Daigle, measure everything. Absolutely. That's the easiest way to go about it. That way you just avoid buyers having to ask questions, and, you know, buyers going to, because the one thing what I forgot to mention in the video earlier, the best thing about adding measurements, I hate selling clothing for this same reason, but when you're selling clothing, it's one of those things that's super necessary. If me and you both have the same item, same size, same price, and you have no measurements on your listing and I have measurements, and that's one of the biggest concerns for the buyer. If the item is going to fit, they're going to purchase it from me because I have the measurements and I'm answering the questions that they might have had. So just by adding the measurements just kind of gives you a step up above the competition. And it's just one of those necessary evils that we kind of have to do if you're selling clothes, which is another reason why I'm kind of trying to get out of it, because taking the measurements take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of steaming and all those different things. let's see. If you like reselling, study finance in college. Yeah, man, study finance, study business administration, study marketing. There's so many different roads you can go down. eBay sneaker authentication is going to be a good look. Yes, that's something else that I've seen. Somebody actually dropped a comment about that. So I think that what they said is that eBay is going to be partnering with the SneakerCon app. And the SneakerCon app is basically like an authentication service. If you went to like a SneakerCon or any of those type of traveling, traveling conventions for sneakers, they would always have a booth where you take your shoes to that booth and get it authenticated. Because just like we were saying earlier, scammers are everywhere. They'll scam you online and they'll try to scam you in person. So they set up these booths where you can authenticate your shoes, and they also have the service on the app. So I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of taking photos of certain things, certain details, and just by the photos, they usually would authenticate it. And if they do it in person, they basically would just, review the shoe in person and use their better judgment. So I think it's going to be a really good thing for eBay to incorporate some form of sneaker authentication into their business model, because like I said before, scamming has been at an all-time high on every platform. So eBay's just trying to do what they can in order to kind of secure buyers' trust, let them know that, hey, we're authenticating these shoes, we're making sure that they're real, and you have one less thing to worry about. Just like what StockX and GOAT and all these other websites do, I think eBay is just trying to stay competitive within the market because, like I said, StockX does it, GOAT does it, and eBay kind of changed the game by offering 0 fees if you sell items over $100. So that was a game changer. But the fact that they don't authenticate shoes still, is kind of a turnoff for some buyers. So I think by them partnering with the SneakerCon app gives them a better opportunity to, bring more buyers to the platform. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. Let's see. What are your thoughts on bots for apps like Nike sneakers or websites like Foot Locker? Do you think it's worth trying to purchase one, or should I shift my focus to more reasonable products? That's a good question. So we could talk about bots. So people hate bots. People don't like using bots. I was one of the people. I'm just a hater because I wanted shoes for myself, and you're competing with people that use bots. I have a couple friends that use bots now too. The thing with the bots is that it's not guaranteed. So just because you have a bot doesn't mean you're necessarily always going to hit. And the better the bot, the more expensive it is. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to have. You have to have the money to, afford the bot and afford the service. And it can be very pricey depending on, what shoes you're trying to get. You can go through third-party people that, somebody that might have a bot and they'll just do the botting for you and then send you the shoes. But that also comes at a fee. So my opinion on the bots, if you got the money and if you can do it, do your thing, more power to you. I don't do it only because it's one of those things where I've told you guys several times, when it came down to selling the hype items, I'm just not that interested in selling the hype. I know that's where a lot of money is, but people would always share the highlight reels. People never talk about them, going all in and investing in a certain hype shoe. And then 2 weeks later, it's a brick. They can't move it no matter what they do. And they lost money. And when you're investing in hype, there's way more risk than investing in, the common everyday shoe where it's like $140 and under. There's way, way, way less risk involved. And reselling as a whole is a very risky, business. Any business is risky because it's not guaranteed. But for me, I just think doing the whole bot thing, doing the whole hype stuff, it becomes very risky. And for me, it's just not worth it, right? So, but for other people, they're killing it. There's a lot of people there's these kids that live in Arizona and they started a store. And they actually, I think they have a physical location in Arizona. I think it's called the Common Hype. And he was telling his story about how he used bots to, get a bunch of shoes and, flip. And him and his friends would basically, crowdfund, put their money together and buy all these shoes with the bots that they were using. And he was able to, start a brick and mortar location. And I think he's like 20, 21, maybe even younger than that. So there's definitely pros and cons to doing bots and all those things. And there's tons of people that do it. I don't do it, but if you want to, more power to you. Let's see. Amazon is horrible with seller protection and side with the buyer, especially if you are merchant fulfilling. Yeah. So with Amazon, right? Amazon has a very, very high return rate, especially for every product. I think their return rate is like 11% or something crazy. So that just kind of lets you know that even though people that might be selling on Amazon, they might do huge numbers, but the returns are also very, very huge as well. And the thing with Amazon, you can return an item for any reason. You don't need a reason. You can just return it. And that's also when you get a lot of people that would buy something brand new, return it 2-3 weeks later with an open package. And, you know, at the end of the day, you lose out on items like that because you can't sell it as brand new. So it's just one of those things that we all got to just, you know, just got to keep in the consideration when you're selling on Amazon. I don't sell on Amazon yet. I was trying to get into it for Q4, but my timing was just bad. So you'll see. Probably next year I'll get into it, but it is what it is. Let's see. See if we got any questions in here. Have you ever been scammed, Akil? Absolutely. The longer you've been doing it, you will get scammed. There is no way around it. I could share the quick scam story real quick. I think I shared this a couple times, but the one time that I can remember off the top of my head. So I was selling these vintage software, right? It was like IBM software, and it was sealed. It was brand new, but it was just old. It was just stuff that people probably had in their garage for years, probably decades, and they just donated it to the thrift store. So I picked up a bunch of vintage software for like $2 to $3, and it was maybe like 15 to 16 units. And I was selling these things from anywhere between like 50 to $60, sometimes a little more. I think I sold one for a little more than that. It was like MS-DOS or something like that. Very old, antiquated software. So one of the last software items that I had, the person opened up a return like 2 weeks later and said the item that I shipped them was empty. And they said I must have shrink wrapped it and shipped them out an empty box. So of course, you know, they were lying, they were scamming me. So I called eBay and I tried to, you know, explain my story, explain my point, but they sided with the buyer. And they said that the buyer's complaint was the fact that the item was empty, and I'm saying that the item was brand new and sealed. So they just sided with the buyer. So I didn't take too much of a hit. I think that particular item sold for like $40. So I didn't take that much of a hit, but it just happens. I just chalked it up to the cost of business. But outside of that, I just try to learn from my mistakes. It doesn't happen. Those same mistakes don't happen all the time, right? So you just kind of learn from your mistakes. Like I said, chalk it up to the cost of business. Every year I try to at least allocate, you know, maybe $1,000 or $1,500 as, you know, just in case, you know, just in terms of like a reserve, just in case, you know, something happens, you know, you kind of put that to the side as a write-off basically. So that's what I like to do ever since those situations happen. But overall, I've just learned a lot during this time, and I just try to avoid it. Let's see. How do you deal with buyers with a number of reviews but no comments? I've seen that happen a few times, but like I said before, the majority of the items in my store, there's no best offer or anything like that. So, excuse me. So for that reason, well, with that being said, it's one of those things where I only see the person's feedback after they've already spent the money and they've already made the purchase. If it was an offer on the table, if it was a situation that was like that, I might want to message them or you know, just try to see if they're actually really interested in the item, or I might even tell them, hey, I'll change the price to I'll accept your offer, but I'll change the buy it now price to what you're offering. That way you have to make immediate payment. I might send them a message like that. But for the most part, it's just one of those things where it's also all of the reasons why I don't accept offers on the majority of the items in my store, because it's so much people that have buyer's remorse, so many people that, you know, are just scammers and they're just trying to get over on you. So for me, it's just best to just, you know, have your items priced as is, and won't have to deal with it anymore. Got a $5 super chat. Thanks for teaching me about the Xenia and RL purple label suits. I just thrifted, found my first Oxford item and Turnbull shirt 2 days ago too. That's what's up. Xenia and purple label stuff will always hold its value, especially purple label. The thing with suits lately, it's been kind of slow for me. I don't have a lot of suits, but I know during the summertime it was kind of slow. The good thing is that, you know, as fall kind of crept in, I did start selling a little more blazers and stuff like that. Some Harris tweed blazers started to sell. So I've had some suits all summer that wasn't moving, but now there's the season when people that do wear suits, now is the time where people are going to start picking those up. So just price it high, because purple label always is good money, especially a full suit. Price it high, just wait for the right buyer to come along. They usually don't sell super fast, so you don't want to just price it high and then continuously dropping your price. Just price it high, price it somewhere where you're comfortable, and just wait. Just be patient. Not only that, don't let eBay just relist it for you. Once it gets to that 30-day mark, you know, you end the listing and relist it yourself. That way it gets a fresh eBay number and it'll be at the top of the search, and you know, just better for you overall. All right, y'all. So I think that is all we got in terms of questions for the day. Definitely just want to thank everybody for, you know, those of you that hopped into the live chat. And we'll definitely keep doing that. I think it's really dope. I think it's interactive. I hope I was able to help a lot of these young men that are super interested in college and want to, you know, just want to balance both. Because if I wish I was into reselling when I was in college, I would have been rich now. Now I would have definitely been rich if I started young. So salute to the young men that reached out to the show and they joined in. And I'm glad to see that, you know, people are interested in getting their education and interested in hustling. And as long as you doing both, you'll be in a really good spot. So like I said, thanks again for you guys checking into the live chat, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.